Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Uncensored. You're here with the East-West Connect. I'm Bill. This is Alan.
Hey, yo.
He's on the West. I'm on the East. We are still jobbers. Hopefully, we could get a W and make our way up the ranks. And hopefully, you'll be here to see that happen.
That's right.
So, how's everything been, brother?
All right. You know, it's hot as hell over here. I know it's hot as hell over there.
Yes, sir. The humidity's brutal.
Yeah, our temperatures are all matching up. I'm still figuring out plans for myself as far as getting over to the East Coast for a number of months. That'll hopefully be taking place in August, so we'll be on the same time zone when that happens, and we'll figure things out from there. But, yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, sadly you couldn't come earlier like you had thought maybe you could have.
Yeah, but it's still only a few weeks away. I feel like the time's going to move very, very quickly. So
yeah. I'll be honest, this year is moving pretty quick, even with all the
it really is
crazy shit. I think the Mayans tricked us.
Yep, they got the year off.
They tricked us. They gave us the wrong year. So, you want to start with the Puppy Battle Royal?
Yeah, man. I got to tell you, you know, we'll talk about Fyter Fest, and I found Fyter Fest to be okay. You know, I mean, we reviewed week one. We're going to review week two. Overall, pretty enjoyable show. I was a little confused with the Puppy Battle Royal because I remember seeing the tweet when it came up, and it made it sound like it was going to happen after the first match. So I thought it was actually going to be part of the show, and you were the one who told me, well, no, it's on YouTube. And so I had to seek it out. I found it on YouTube. And this probably says a lot, but it was my most enjoyable part of the entire Fyter Fest was the 9 minutes and 20-something seconds of the Puppy Battle Royal. For those of
do you remember the website? Let's plug that website.
Yes,
I don't know if you
in fact, I was about to say that. So yeah, so the puppies who are in this Battle Royal, you can adopt, volunteer, or donate to angelsrescue.org. That's ANGELS. rescue.org. I have actually heard of them. I don't talk about this too much, but I have a number of friends who do a lot of adopting and volunteering and fostering of dogs. And this is a group that I've heard of. And, you know, for those of you who had the opportunity to see this Battle Royal, it was really something. So the puppies, first of all, were born on Mother's Day. That's how young they are. They were born on Mother's Day of this year. So they were really, really young. And each of them had their own entrance music, and they were representing a different wrestler. So one was Orange Cassidy. So Orange Cassidy Steve played Randy Rhodes.
She named them all after those wrestlers.
Yes,
so that was cool.
It was so cool. So it was really, really well done, and it's funny.
MJF is still undefeated.
Yes. And it's funny because I had no idea what the rules were going to be. I kind of figured that, well, I guess whenever a puppy walks out of the ring, they're eliminated, and that exactly was what the rules were. So when a puppy left the ring, they were eliminated. They did both a men's and a women's, which is great. So there were actually 2 battle royals, and it was just a lot of fun. It was great to see. They had a bit of a message inside as well. You know, they were talking about the adoption group. So, you know, lots of kudos to AEW for putting this kind of thing together. It was very unique. It was for a good cause. Again, it's something that's near and dear to me as well. So, yeah, I have to say it was my overall most enjoyable part of all of Fyter Fest.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was lighthearted. Who doesn't love puppies, man? If you don't like puppies and you're listening, get the fuck off.
Exactly.
I'm joking. We need all the listeners we can get. We're only 11 episodes in.
What's up, Eddie?
What's going on, guys?
Eddie's in. Oh, shit.
And he's wearing the greatest shirt of all time.
I can't even see him because...
For Bill.
I don't know. Where are you? See him? I don't even see him.
Yeah, and his visual just popped up here. I'm seeing him as we speak.
Oh, on Skype.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's going on with this thing here, but whatever. Eddie, you're not visible on the podcast itself. I apologize.
No problem. You're not missing anything.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
So for those of you listening, I mean, you probably hear us talk to Eddie all the time. Eddie's really big support of the show. He's been in our chat every week talking. Big wrestling fan, just like all of us. He and I have a lot in common in the sense that we both love Hulk Hogan. Bill does not.
Let's keep off this crap topic.
Yeah. Just trying to give a little bit of background on the guy, but yeah.
Fuck his background.
So Eddie, did you watch the Puppy Battle Royal for AEW?
I did not. I did not watch.
It was great, man. It was really worth it.
Eddie hates puppies.
I don't really watch the Puppy Bowl and the Kitten Bowl and all that, but I didn't watch the Puppy Royal Rumble or whatever it was called.
Oh, and the last thing I did want to bring up about it that was really funny was there was a plushy referee in the ring, and so the puppies,
I love when they were chewing on him.
The puppies kept going after the referee. It was great.
Yeah, that was great. I wonder if they souped it up with a little like peanut butter or something.
Probably. And also what I also found impressive, they kept breaking away to crowd shots. Obviously, those were old crowd shots since nobody was actually around, but. The editing job that was done for it was really well done. They just kept breaking up to crowd shots. They had the commentary.
Yeah, that was funny, man. That was funny with the crowd shots.
Yep. So yeah, I loved it. I watched it more than once.
Oh my god! All right, you got me there. So another thing I wanted miscellaneous before we get to the shows. Apparently Scorpio Sky, they're going to start focusing on him solo. He's basically Daniels and Kaz are going to stay as SCU. I'm sure he'll still obviously be part of the group, but it's going to be less tag team. He's just going to focus single on his singles matches. So kind of looking forward to that, man. I think he's a future star. I think he could be a future champ. Wouldn't mind seeing him take a run at the TNT title myself. I don't know what you guys feel about it.
I agree. I've already felt that AEW they have so many tag teams, and they have so many tag teams that are made up of wrestlers who really should be on their own, who they almost feel like they're just like these fantasy made tag teams just to put people together. And I feel like they've yet to come up with a formula to really get some decent tag teams in there who really work as tag teams. So I'm all for it. I do think that he is somebody who will work better as a singles competitor and should certainly have that opportunity.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
We got Eddie on the podcast.
Yeah. So it's like the WCW Glacier teaser. He was teased for weeks and weeks, and then it just became a big disappointment when he showed up.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, so
I'll be honest.
I agree with Scorp. I agree with what Alan said. There's the tag team division is so overcrowded right now. So some guys are going to have to break out and do their own thing, or either contend for the TNT championship or for the heavyweight championship.
Yeah. I really hope they don't. I got this vibe they were going for They're going to try to go for a trios title. I really hope they don't. I mean, we're going for it right now. We got a new partner, Eddie. Eddie didn't bring us technical difficulties like our boy Anthony, except Alan just caused technical difficulties. I don't know what he just did. He just fucked everything up.
Sorry about that. I got kicked out.
Alan gets kicked out every week for the past
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
Well,
I can't say every week.
It actually happened just as Eddie got on, so I wonder if that caused anything. But I'm not gonna blame Eddie. It is the second week in a row that happened with me. So
every time we have a guest, there's a technical difficulty.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm used to getting blamed for everything. So.
As I was saying, our last guest, we had technical difficulties twice, and now here we go again, more technical difficulties. So anyway, so we brought in a new partner to try to make a run at the trios. We're still jobbers. But all joking aside, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for the support. I know you're always in the chat.
I try
talking it up with us.
Try to support the buddies.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And by the way, I do want to say, I know Bill doesn't want to talk about Hogan, and I won't, but it is funny that Eddie is wearing a Hulkamania shirt, but I'm wearing an Incredible Hulk shirt. That was an accident. The fact that happened together, so.
Accidental bullshit. Alan, what did like? I gotta fix your box here. I'm just gonna keep you in a tiny box in the corner.
Okay.
I don't know. Every time your shit gets all screwed
There's
up.
something wrong with my box.
Yeah, it's nice and smelly. Yeah, all right, guys. I guess that was a bad joke. But every time, man. I guess because you got booted out and came back.
That was probably it.
Out here, fucking technical difficulty in the middle of the show. Anyway, it's been fun. That's it for this week, fellas. Now, real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes, like, share, subscribe. Check us on Skype. You know that's how you get in on the show. Hopefully, when we bring you on, it won't be as much technical difficulties as we have just had and have had in the past. Check out all our social media, Twitter, email us questions, whatever, comments. Check us out on Facebook, all that jazz. We got all the links below in the live stream YouTube video. If you're listening to this on a podcast, check out all the podcast apps. We're on all that, so thanks for listening. And all right, let's get to Dark. Eddie, I'm sure you didn't watch Dark, right?
Nope.
All right. We'll run through. Now we have. Now in the chat, instead of Eddie, we have his wife Michelle. Michelle, how are you, Michelle? Now, Michelle is great because she loves to bust balls. I love being in like a group chat with her, so she's gonna put in some good stuff here as we go on. I'm sure.
Welcome, Michelle.
She's already busting my balls about trying to to do the whole tag team gimmick that I started doing on the beginning of the shows. She's right. We're probably gonna drop it soon. So, all right. So let's get to Dark. I mean, we don't spend too much time on it, so you just kind of hang out there, Eddie, or if you hear something you want to talk about. Spears and Pillman. Kind of surprised that was first. I guess start off strong, or at least strong in terms of people want to see it. Not as good as I hoped, honestly. Few awkward spots I felt. I thought it'd be a little bit better. Jesus Christ, Alan. You're like, people listening to this on the podcast, Alan is like, literally his box just keeps getting larger.
Really? I'm not doing a thing.
Yeah, like as if you were a prostitute on 42nd Street in the 80s. Your box just keeps getting larger. Okay, I'm back. It's back to normal. Sorry, all the viewers on YouTube. So, okay, back to the show. I did like the curb stomp on the ramp.
Yes,
that looked really good. That looked really solid. Looked legit. Yeah, I just thought it was an awkward match. The loaded glove thing was fine at the end, but then it's like, I don't know why he had to take it out and then he just takes it out and then he throws it at Tully, and Tully like fumbles it and drops it. It's like, come on, man, that's pretty awkward. Just leave it in your glove or take it out and just kind of like hand to hand it, like like you're on 42nd Street in the 80s.
Yeah, it was weak.
Doing hand to hand deals, like. So, yeah, I was kind of like, it's awkward and sloppy at the end there, like doing that. It didn't make sense for him to kind of toss it, Anyway, just my take. I mean, what'd you feel about that?
No, I agree. It was very awkward. I was expecting a lot more out of the match, just considering that it was Pillman and Spears. But yeah, I wasn't very impressed with it. I mean, I hope they will be giving more opportunities to Pillman. He definitely still needs quite a bit more seasoning. But overall, it was nice to see him, for sure.
Yeah, it was some good stuff in there, but it was just couple spots were awkward. I just expected a little more,
too.
Honestly. Especially all the promotion behind it. And then what else I got here? The Brandy and Allie sit down. Fucking green screen, man. Why are we doing green screen?
Yeah.
It comes off cheap and amateurish. That's my opinion. I mean,
I agree, especially in this kind of a situation. Yeah, I just think it was way too off. It wasn't necessary. For what they were doing, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't find an office to sit down in or something.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be all like glamour and glitz, You know, one thing I did notice from the interview was Brandy was in white and Allie was in black, kind of like the face heel thing. If you look at it like, you know, the light side, the dark side, you know what I mean? Other than that, wasn't much there, but I just wanted to kind of mention those.
Well, they're going to be wrestling together again on Dark this coming Tuesday, so I'll be looking forward to seeing that.
Oh, you are? I am not looking forward to seeing
I'm not looking forward to Brandy's part, but Allie's part. I think you and I both agree that Allie does really, really well. So it's her more than anything else I'm looking forward to seeing in the ring again. So, she was promoting on her Instagram page that they're going to be on again on Tuesday.
Michelle says, I sure know a lot about 42nd Street. That's funny. And she said to get our crap together. I mean, listen, I don't know why Skype is just changing the size of these fucking boxes, or OBS, whatever's changing the size of these boxes. I don't know. Anyway, Orange Cassidy versus Will Hobbs. That was pretty fast. Really kind of didn't make too much sense to me. I mean, I get it. You're trying to make him look strong, but I actually wanted to see Will Hobbs' work. I never seen him, and he's got a good look. He's a big dude. You know, I want to see if the look can match the in-ring work, you know, in terms of like maybe bringing him beyond literally a guy who gets punched once by a tiny-ass guy and goes down.
Here's my big problem. I had a big problem with this because this show is essentially a useless show except for the fact that it does showcase jobbers. It showcases new talent so that talent can prove itself and they decide whether or not they should proceed with pushing them or not pushing them or what have you. Right. Why on Dark are we having a jobber get jobbed out this quickly and not having a chance to really showcase his abilities? What the fuck? That was my reaction to this match. It's like, exactly like you said, Will Hobbs is a great look. Let's see what he can do. Orange Cassidy is a unique enough opponent where it would make sense to see how they would work together, and it's over in 2 seconds. It's like, what the hell?
Right. And you know, I mean, he's a big guy, man, and for him to just go out like that was almost like, you know. I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, I had a problem with that just again, because it's like, why else do we have this show then?
Right. Well, okay. So moving on from that, we got Cutler and Avalon in Dark Order, man. You know, I'm a big Cutler Avalon fan. I think Uno and Grayson are underrated.
For sure.
They get a lot of fucking hate, man, but they were really working well as a team. They were doing their thing, and sorry, Michelle's busting my balls there in the comments, throwing me off. So, and I'll tell you what, man, Avalon and Cutler, they're working great together. I think they both. I've said it before. I mean, I'll just keep saying it. I'll just go on repeat. You know, they both work really well, and now they're working well together too. So. Is Eddie just on for good looks? That's hilarious. Pretty much. We're getting to his part. We're getting to his part. They were very in sync. I mean, I don't know if you got anything on that.
No, I agree. You know, it's funny. Match. We were talking at the beginning of the program today about how, you know, there's a lot of these tag teams that just get thrown together. They're not natural tag teams, and a lot of the guys can work either as good or better as individuals than they do in a team. But yes, Cutler and Avalon is an example of a team that was put together that they do work very nicely in sync with each other, and they also work well as singles competitors. So 100%. This is a rare occurrence for AEW where basically everything is working with these guys. So yeah, I could stand to see them in either situation.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Fyter Fest Night 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Let's get on with it. We got Omega Hangman versus Private Party. Okay. Last week I destroyed Private Party. I said they basically were just a high spot fest. I felt that this match was good. Mm-hmm. Wasn't amazing, but it was good. The silly string is the worst fucking move ever invented. Okay, you think it's flashy, but all you're doing is making your opponent look like a fucking idiot while he stands there waiting for you to do this long, stretched out roll and flip back to get, to do your comeback move. So the guy's standing in the ring waiting for what seems to be 3 minutes.
It reminds me of the worm. Remember the worm that Scotty 2 Hottie did back in the day?
I remember.
Stupidest
but I don't
thing. It was the same thing. It took so long. It was this elaborate thing he's doing, and the opponent's just sitting there on his ass, going, "Okay, well, I'll just sit here and wait for it to happen."
Yeah. Like I said, it was a good match, though. A little busy for my taste, you know me, but it was fairly clean overall.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was pretty happy with that overall. They did a way better job than last week, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My thing.
You got anything else on that?
My thing with Private Party is it always feels like they're rushing to get to their spots.
Yeah.
There's always there's always like a split second and 1 second wait, and I think they were pretty polished this match. I don't know if it was because they were wrestling with Hangman and with Omega that are experienced, or it was because they kind of slowed down already and got used to their role. So it was a good match.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, same thing. I thought it was pretty clean. I thought, like you said, they were in rhythm, and but maybe it is the opponents, maybe it isn't. Who knows really? Maybe they just wanted to slow it down because they're more Kenny and Hangman are more of a ground-based opponents, So, but it worked. We'll go to Archer versus Janella. What's your take, Eddie? Give me the hot take, Eddie.
Of what, Archer Janella?
Yeah, hot take.
I was surprised that it lasted as long as it did.
That long, 100%.
It was a long match.
Yeah, it was. Janella was able to get a couple of shots in, and it looked decent and all of it. We all knew Archer was going to win. Where that leads, I have no clue. Where is that going to lead?
Yeah, that's true too. It's like, I feel like maybe they just wanted to let Janella get a little showcase, even if he loses. Almost that's what it felt like, to me. He took that sick bump at the end through the table with Archer's finisher. I forget what the hell he calls it, but I thought it was a good match, though. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I was also surprised by the length of it, but I enjoyed it. I agree that, Archer had to win. We had discussed that last week. But then, I don't exactly know now what his direction is going to be. I guess we'll hopefully find out next week. But otherwise, it was enjoyable. It was a decent match.
Yeah, not too much to write home about. But, Taz and Cage, let's go, fellas. What do you got? Got the announcement. What'd you feel about this? I felt it was a good promo, but go ahead. You guys, go.
Well, I was very surprised that they brought out the FTW Championship. I felt like that came out of complete nowhere. I'm also wondering then, is there no, and this is the business person in me just thinking in the back of my head, is there no copyright on this thing? Are they able to just take it and bring it wherever they want, where now this could be an AEW title?
Probably.
I was reading that it was not a non-sanctioned title that never got trademarked by ECW. Because I had no clue what it was, and I read up on it, and that's what I read. So I guess he's good to use it. But
I forget. Douglas was injured at the time he was a champ, and Taz. They basically use this to move, kind of have a title out there.
And I'll tell you what I think it does too. It kind of, and I guess this can maybe be considered a spoiler if in fact this takes place. This is something that will essentially, I guess, cushion the blow, so to speak, if Brian Cage, and when he loses to Moxley, then they could basically say, well, he is the FTW champion, and this may be a title. It's like the $1 million belt. It's exactly like the $1 million belt. It's a supplemental championship that you could just decide to throw on somebody, in which case Taz is just going to throw it on Brian Cage, and this could be something that he'll defend and that he'll have when not being able to have the world title. So if that was the reasoning behind it, it's pretty smart.
It's a little odd. I mean, the promo was great. I really didn't get why they brought the belt into the mix. I just don't get it. I guess we'll see as the time goes on. I'm really not feeling it either way. It's almost like, what's the real purpose? Unless, I mean, it's not a sanctioned belt. You know, I mean, what are you gonna have this people chasing it? It's gonna be like the BMF in UFC,
like the hardcore.
You know, Masvidal won the belt. It's a one-off belt, and that's it. So what is, if Cage loses, is somebody gonna take that belt? Is Moxley gonna now have the FTW belt if he wins next week, or you know what I mean? So, whatever. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
well, Go ahead,
Eddie.
They did unify it. I was reading on it. They did unify it with the ECW championship. Yeah, so it was, I don't know, it kind of is non-official, official belt at that point. So, but I wonder, if he loses, does Moxley get both belts?
Right, and what does that really do? You know what I mean?
He should bring out Virgil to carry it.
Right. Well, normally they're very clear when something is a winner-take-all match, and they're not promoting this as a winner-take-all match. And I doubt they would do it with a one-week difference and say all of a sudden this is for everything. So I don't think that's the case. I think this is basically his personal belt. It's not going to be on the line. He's the one who has it, and then they will decide how it gets defended. It might be in the style of like a hardcore match where anything goes. You have these unsanctioned fights. Somebody gets it, they have it. But yeah, I don't think this is going to play a role whatsoever in the Moxley match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. So we'll go Lucha Bros, Butcher and the Blade versus FTR and the Bucks. That super kick into the DDT, that duck super kick where he ducked it and he got caught in that. Dude, that shit was fucking amazing.
It was well done.
That was, yeah, I think Nick ducked the super kick. I forget how it went, but Dax hit that DDT on him. That was beautiful. Good match, man. The Bucks and FTR mixing up their finishing maneuvers with mixed up partners. You know, that was fun, man. I liked it. And that fucking Canadian Destroyer. Oh my god. Somebody's gonna die.
They almost went over everybody.
I know. Yeah. Nick Jackson almost died, man. Like that was like, yeah, that was sick. That popped the shit out of me. You know, that worked too, man. It looked good, you know. So the guys were all out there. It wasn't like I felt like the way they worked the camera was good, where you didn't feel like guys were just hanging around waiting for it, you know. So, but yeah, that was good, man. That was crazy. You know, you knew what, like, you know me and having too many people in the ring, I felt like you knew it was going to break down, but it kind of worked when it did break down. You know, it wasn't, you know, there's times where shit breaks down and you're just like, yeah, this is too much. And there's times where it breaks down and you're like, oh, that's perfect, you know? So I kind of felt like it was perfect in terms of how it broke down. And, you know, I'm kind of not surprised that Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade won that, personally. I mean,
yeah, and we were talking about that too, that now, you know, this gives an opportunity to say, okay, now FTR and Young Bucks can maybe begin a slow program. So, right. And having them on the losing end allows for that.
Right, exactly my point, which is why it don't surprise me. And the super kick. What did surprise me was after the super kick, it was just like, oh, good match, and they shook each other's hands like, we lost, but you know, I was kind of like, you kind of dropped the ball to do like a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be over the top.
I was hoping for a little hint of something, especially when it's, you know, they always overdo everything. They wink and nod so often now with Four Horsemen and everything else. You would think that they would have had something to be like hinted, nod, wink, wink. Something's going to happen, and they didn't. So
there was some looks at each other at the end, but it was nothing like, over the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't go out of their way to sell the fact that they're going to have tension.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, what'd you guys take out of the match itself? Like, what?
Go, Alan.
Well, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm also, Bill, you and I agree with this, that there is way too much of too many people in the ring, especially with these 8-man tags. But they actually did work harmoniously together nicely, I thought. There was nothing in there that bothered me. There was nothing in there that felt too busy. Everything clicked nicely, and they work well together. Like it's rare where you will see an 8-man tag where everybody is going to work well together. You're normally going to have some kind of a hole show up somewhere, but no, it was great. It was one of the better matches for sure on the entire Fyter Fest for me, just in terms of enjoying it. And I will also say that FTR, they're making a case for themselves. They came in saying that they were wasted by WWE, they were wasted by Vince McMahon, and they are showing that they can hang with a lot of these other guys who've been more established. So yeah, props to them. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I was surprised that I enjoyed it because I'm not a big fan of 8-man tag, because normally when you throw 8 guys in the ring, it's because like creative has no idea what to do with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were saying that last week. Exactly.
Yeah, there was a storyline behind it. It was I was surprised on how fluid it was and how everybody worked well together. All the 8 guys, which is surprising. When you have so many guys in the ring like that.
Yep, 100% agree with that. I was a little surprised when I've been reading this week that FTR is saying that they still don't have a contract. I don't know that I believe that. And they are also talking about how they have heat. They had heat backstage because they did Cornette's show. I don't really necessarily believe it. I think it's kind of them kayfabing, in my opinion. I have a feeling they're with AEW and they're just trying to play it up in terms of like a long-term contract. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just guessing. They're kayfabing all that shit.
To be honest, I don't know. I know that people do get rubbed the wrong way when guys go on Cornette's show. That is a legit thing in the business. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was true that there was a little bit of hurt feelings about the fact that they went on and were saying what they were saying. You could be right. It could be totally an act. Absolutely. But it wouldn't surprise me if that really was the case, that they overplayed their hand a little bit. They went on that show. They were a bit too open going into a new promotion. And it wouldn't surprise me if that did rub some guys the wrong way. So it could go either way.
I don't know. I feel like listening to these people, these wrestlers talk nowadays, especially in AEW, and that they don't give off that vibe, that bad vibe at AEW. Like they have that kind of shit. Like, the WCW behind the scenes with Nash and Hogan and all that bullshit where people are just, so I don't really feel like that vibes with what has been put out there. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm wrong. I'm just my opinion on it. Like you said, maybe it did rub, maybe the Bucks or Janella or, Kenny Omega, because obviously these guys are getting ran down by Cornette on a day.
I was going to say, Cornette has no love lost for the majority of AEW. The AEW guys know it. And I'm sure that really does rub them the wrong way if any of their guys are going to be on that show, giving that show time, basically. Not that Cornette needs it, but it doesn't hurt him. It doesn't help them, I should say, to have any of their guys on that show talking to Cornette. Because he's made no hiding whatsoever of his feelings about AEW.
Yeah, you could be right. Anything else on that match, you guys? Are you guys clear on that?
No.
That was it. We got Swole coming into the building, finds out she's suspended. Well, I'll say this: when AEW does something, they overdo it. Literally, Jake Hager gets suspended last week. This week, Big Swole gets suspended. It's like, you're a suspension. Here's a suspension. They're Oprah Winfrey of the fucking wrestling.
You took the words right out of my
mouth.
You
get a suspension.
Exactly.
You get a suspension. You get a suspension. Giving all the wrong shit out. But okay. So I mean, that's all I got on that. I mean, you got any takes other than that? Anybody?
I did find it funny that she was unhappy that she drove all the way there. She wasn't told by fax, by snail mail, by something else. Like, well, this was the respectable way to do it. They told you to your face.
Yeah. She goes fax. She goes by fax. You couldn't even fax me. I'm like, oh, here we go, fax.
Who uses fax?
And then she
Who
says
uses
snail
fax
mail.
anymore? Exactly. It's like, what the? You couldn't use Western Union. You couldn't use by horse. I mean,
yeah. I wonder if they kind of plotted that out where after she said that, she threw in snail mail, or she kind of caught that on the fly, like, why did I say fax? That shit's obsolete. And she just kind of ran with it and said snail mail.
Yeah.
Money order only.
But yeah.
MO only, baby. Ronnie boy, you listening? Ronnie, you out there? Give us a shout in the chat if you're listening, Ron. Mo only, baby. Oh, man. So then we get Nyla versus two jobbers. I apologize. I didn't feel like typing out their entire names.
It was Kenzie Page and Kylan King.
Thank you, Alan. At least you are thorough. I am not. I do the technical side, which I fail at miserably, and Alan takes better notes than me. So, Squash, of course, she comes out, does the announcement that she is, drum roll please, hiring a manager.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get a soundboard with an actual drum roll, because that was an awful drum roll. That was a white man doing drums, if you ever seen one. So, yeah, so she's hiring a manager. Yay!
Not saying who it is, just going to be a manager.
The monster needs a manager. Like, why? Because she sucks.
Yeah.
Is that the whole purpose? Like, I can't win unless I got a manager, basically, is what she's saying. All these people with managers are winning the belt.
But it's weird to have said this after winning a match. You would think that somebody would lose a match and in frustration say, I'm hiring a manager, that's it. And instead she wins and in very impressive fashion and still needs to hire a manager.
Yeah. For me, it's like, yay, we need another person on the outside of the ring. Basically, that's what it boils down to for me. Yay, another third wheel or whatever, however many wheel at this point. Some matches it's 10th wheel, you know?
Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, any idea who you think it might be? I've heard a couple ideas thrown out there. Jesus Christ, drawing a blank on her name. Alundra Blaze, aka fucking wow.
Oh, I didn't even hear about Alundra Blaze. I'm thinking of bringing her in. Okay.
No, that's just some. People are throwing ideas.
Oh, just ideas.
Honestly,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I had zero idea. Why am I blanking on her actual name? Medusa.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I should know that because I prefer her Medusa since I'm a WCW guy. But Alundra Blaze just came to my head. That was something some people had said, and then Vicky Guerrero's another one. That kind of makes some sense. Awesome Kong. I mean, Awesome Kong, believe it or not, was the first one I thought about. Was like she's a beast. She was the beast when she was wrestling full time. In terms, so maybe she can bring something to Nyla in terms of like, hey, I was that person. Now I'm gonna impart my wisdom upon you. I really like, other than her popping in my head real quick, I really didn't have any other idea who it might be. I mean, I'm shooting women out there, because these are some things that I've heard thrown around, and obviously I had the thing on what's her name there, but wow. So whatever. I'm just stumbling over my words at this point. But I don't know about any men who might manage her. You know what I mean?
Who's to say that the manager has to be a woman? Who's to say that it might not be a situation where you'll have someone like Taz? Taz is going to take another monster under his belt. Like sort of like the Paul Heyman of AEW, who just manages these monsters or these big names, and that's also possible as well. So yeah, Vicky Guerrero wouldn't surprise me, because I know Vicky Guerrero has been endearing herself more to AEW. I just don't think she would necessarily fit as a manager. Her background is just being very annoying and yelling and screaming, and I don't know if that would really fit with Nyla Rose, but
yeah,
we'll see how her character development is.
Yeah, I mean, Kong kind of would make sense too.
Kong, I like that idea. For Kong,
she's the only one that really popped in my head during the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't think beyond it. I just like, all right. I mean, aside from her, I really didn't have any idea who it could possibly be. All right, so Eddie, what's your take on managers, man? Hulkamania?
Linda Hogan.
Linda, yeah. All right, let's move on. We're moving on. All right.
You walked into that one, Bill.
Yeah, I did. We don't touch on this. We don't touch on this type of shit on this show.
Oh, Tony
It's not our thing.
Tony Khan says she's not welcome to ever. So.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move over to Dark Order versus SCU. Move over to that match. What do you got, guys?
I'll let you take this one first, Eddie.
Okay, yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm probably like one of the few that really don't enjoy the Dark Order. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, everybody hates the Dark Order.
Oh yeah. So I don't know.
Well, it was let's say real quick, it was a 6-man tag, Dark Order, and it was Grayson, Colt, and Brodie Lee.
Yeah, and I just think that I don't know. It's Dark Order became stale. I think at this point, like I don't know where the Colt Cabana thing kind of gives a little bit of interest, but like I don't know, like it just doesn't appeal to me. SCU is doing what they normally do. So they're a good team. They got good performers. They like a lot of nice spots in the match, and so on their part, like nothing against them, but I don't know. I can't just get behind the Dark Order. I don't know why. In the beginning, it was fun. All the vignettes or whatever it's called, they had.
Yeah.
It was a fun tease and fun everything, but now it's just I don't like. It became a little stale at this point. I don't know. That's my opinion on.
Okay. I felt like it was a good match. I like the dynamic with Colt. I really do. Like I'm not a big fan of Colt. He's a big goo. You know, he does goose shit. Like, if you notice that at a point in the match, he really kind of put on a serious face and like put some emphasis on his kick to the guy on the ground. You know, and like I was like, okay, a little bit of you know, bad guy Colt came out. You know, so I like the way it's going. I could maybe get behind a Colt if he's a little more aggressive and a little more heelish, you know, instead of the goofy ring shit. That's why I'm not really a big fan of him. What do you got, Alan?
Well, yeah, I do think that they're now trying to highlight Cole. They have him be the one who gets tagged in to go for the pin at the end of the match. That's setting something up where they're trying to showcase it more. He's going to become more part of the group. He is going to have an opportunity to be more bad. And then I wonder also now if that's going to cause any friction within as well, because like, you know, you had Lee with the discus lariat. He's the one who had everything ready to go to set everything up. And Bro's like, no, you tag in Colt. And that was pretty cool. So that does kind of set up a little bit of turmoil there. I mean, outside of that, though, I agree with Eddie, and I guess I agree with you as well. I am not a fan of the Dark Order as much as I would like to be. It's not the kind of group I think that they were thinking going in. It was going to be where it was going to have much of an influence. But again, there's so many tag teams and so many groups. There's too many people. I guess that's the permanent way of me saying there's too many people in this federation.
Well, you only have one show to showcase the people. They probably try to squeeze as many people in as possible. They probably sooner or later they're going to need a second show to like spread them out a little.
Right.
That's a very good point. In fact, I think you're right on the money.
Enough time in a week.
Yeah, you're right on the money there. I think that this is showing that you kind of do need that second show, and so maybe in that case, do you turn AEW Dark into something else? Do you maybe not have it necessarily be a jobber show? Do you use that slot to have a second show altogether? The problem with that, of course, is then it's like you don't really want back-to-back nights of AEW wrestling. You do need a bit of a distancing between the two nights if that's the case. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I think there's too many people, and now we're at the point where you do need them to have more time to shine, and I think a second show is going to be necessary. I know it's hard to say that we're not even a full year in, or are we a full year in now with AEW? No, not even. October. Right, so we're not even a full year in, and we're saying this. So I think at the moment there needs to be better time management.
Yeah, and if they're going to bring somebody in of those 13 guys that got fired, even if they bring one guy, so now he's going to need a little bit of spotlight also.
Yep.
So it's like, where is he going to find it with everything that's going on? So that's what.
Yeah, I feel like I've said in the past, the Dark show needs to be something, and like it needs to be something almost like Dynamite for wrestlers who you can't showcase completely. And like I said, I think at first it was just a throwaway show where they would just put random dark matches. I kept stressing this on their page when I would always say, like, you guys need to turn this into an actual show, a secondary show to bring people onto it, and showcase other wrestlers. It seemed like they were kind of doing that, like slowly getting into like more story, and then the coronavirus hit and the pandemic, whatever, and it turned into, okay, let's get some indie guys some money, since they don't have a livelihood at this time. So I feel like that's why they're doing a lot more. It's able to showcase their wrestlers, put them over, and give some money to some indie guys, some local indie guys that can help them out. Do I see Dark as a viable show worth even continuing if it's just going to be squash matches? No. So I think eventually, once this is kind of over, and they could indies are back on and stuff, I think they will go back and try to turn this into almost a secondary show, even though they have a secondary show in the pipeline from their deal with TNT getting re-upped. So this could actually turn out to be a third show in general for them, which would be amazing. Like, you could really showcase some lower tier guys that aren't part of the jobbers, per se, like an Avalon and Cutler, and really, maybe start putting them over and letting them get a little build, and, and so forth. So, that's pretty much it. That's my thought on that.
Good points, Bill.
You mother. You know what I wanted? We completely glossed over was they put out a thing on one of their social media saying that there was an announcement that's going to change the business. Like, was it like, I didn't know it was Taz was going to put the announcement, because that wasn't on what I had seen.
Oh yeah.
But I think that was the announcement. The FTW belt was the announcement. I'm sorry, but that's like the worst promotional fucking thing ever, to be like, this announcement's going to change the wrestling business. Motherfucker, putting an FTW title on Brian Cage, just handing him this thing that was from 1999, which is cool. Like, I got no problem. I'm an old school guy. But it's like, that's changing the industry? Like, what are we fucking talking about, man?
Sadly for them, I guess they consider that it is. You got...
What?
Well, again...
What is that?
Look at it as Tony Khan is this big old school fan. For him, this is probably a very big deal. He was able to get this old title from 99, bring it into his Fed, and maybe for him, that's something that changes the entire industry. It could be. It's all perception, For us, it's not, but...
Bro, that's the worst perception I've ever seen in my life.
Well...
Like, I mean, I love ECW and all, but come on, man, that's not fucking earth-shattering.
Yeah.
So I expected more. I guess that was the announcement, because like I said, I don't remember the promotion that I seen being Taz giving the announcement. I think they just said there will be an announcement.
Right, and there was nothing else.
On this week's show, and there was no other announcement.
No, that was it. So yeah, I think that was...
I almost forgot about that. I don't know why I didn't put that in my notes, but we come to Britt and Swole. Swole's actually made her way in the building, hoodied up with the mask on. She takes the suspension paper, crumbles it up, and tosses it at Baker. Hits Baker in the face. Baker fucking sells it like she got shot with a rifle, 50 cal from fucking 1,000 yards.
And then she ends up in a hospital bed with her nose all bandaged up too in that tweet. That was great.
Yes. Now, I was going to bring that up. The funny thing is, I seen that tweet myself. Swole had commented and said, "You did all that acting for a nose job?" I was like, oh, shit.
That's great.
So, I don't know if that's like an old thing or if that's a new thing. Somebody had mentioned maybe that was an old, like an old picture. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like, wow. Yeah, wow. Okay.
That was good. That was very good.
I mean, you got to find. To sell a. You know what? I mean, I guess if you look at it like, you want to sell the paper as why she had to get the nose done, or you want to sell it like her gimmick is kind of like, I'm all that, and here I go get my nose done for whatever reason, and you know, it's kind of far fetched, so it's kind of works both ways. Like it don't work if it's like literally like they use that as the reason for real, or if they kind of like just kayfabe it as the reason, like her being all high and mighty about, you know. So
Yeah.
she was gonna use that as a way to get it done. You know, I don't know if I'm coming off like what I'm trying to explain, but it's kind of like, okay, if you're doing it in character, knowing that the paper really wouldn't hurt you, but you want to get your nose done because that's your character's like.
To be clear, it wasn't the paper.
Vibe.
I mean, she threw the paper at her, but then she slapped her. It was the smack that Britt was selling like crazy.
No,
I thought they bumped heads. Her and I forgot the name of the chick that's in front of her. When she threw the paper.
Rebel. That's right. Rebel smacked. Small threw the paper at Rebel's face, but Rebel's the one who smacked Baker.
Yes.
And
really?
then yes, and then that is what Baker was selling.
Yes.
So.
Okay, then I totally fucking missed that, because I thought because I think they even announced like she got hit with the paper and like she was screaming.
Oh, then they screwed something up there then now, because she first got hit with the paper, but then Rebel smacked her, and it was Rebel's smack that made her go nuts and sell it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, if they.
I just literally went on a whole fucking conspiracy theory based off of a lie.
Well.
And you guys just let me fucking dig my grave.
It clicked.
Shovel.
It took a little while to click for a moment that you were still referring to the paper and not to the smack.
Like I said, I couldn't explain it like how I meant it. I was doing a bad job as it was.
I mean, your story still makes sense if we're talking about the smack and not the paper. It's still a possibility. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah, but you could say a smack really. But Swoley, even in her tweet, I think she said. You know, you're going to use a piece of paper as a reason to get I almost said a nose job.
Well, Scroll screwed that up too then in that case. Or she was just joking to say that it was the paper and not the smack that caused it. That's possible too. Maybe.
I got to go watch this back because I swore the paper hit and she sounded like she got murdered.
It was after she got slapped, but now you're going to make me have to see it again too. Not that I want to see the segment again.
All right. I should just cut to Eddy. Literally keeps getting smaller and smaller. Then he gets bigger again.
Oh, so it's not just me. Okay, good.
No, it's not. It's like literally you two guys are just like fucking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again. Now I feel like a fucking idiot that I went on like a 5-minute fumble session. I couldn't figure out what the hell how I was trying to portray what I was trying to portray, and then you guys are like, yeah, by the way, man, I mean, she got smacked. She didn't get the paper in the nose. Oh my god! All right,
and
I
don't pay attention to women's wrestling.
yeah, and you know more than I do. I should clip this and just put it up by itself. We'll go viral off of my retardation. Sorry, I should bleep that out too. I don't want to get in trouble.
That's true. Yes. I would clip that out.
Fuck that. I can't laugh. My sciatic nerve is so bad that if I laugh, I'm gonna fucking sound like I got shot. We'll go Orange Cassidy versus Jericho. Thank God nobody at ringside, right? Oh, guess what? Wrong. We did. He sends his guy back, and Jericho has Ortiz, Santana and Ortiz out there, so that was my first take, was like, thank God we got nobody at ringside. That's literally my first notes, because he sends them away, and then boom, Santana and Ortiz. And I was like, record scratch, Aubrey catches Jericho cheating 3 separate times.
Yeah.
She finally does the kick of, at the 3rd time, but you literally caught the guy cheating 3 times. You allowed him to cheat without breaking the hold. As soon as a guy cheats, you break the hold. That's wrestling.
Exactly.
1, 2, you hit the 5 count. Boom, whatever. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Another what the fuck? Clean it up. Clean up your bullshit. Stop. Anyway.
And as an aside, I was really I had this huge question mark up here on top of my head because Jericho tweeted before this even aired, because, they taped this in advance. And he tweeted how proud he was of this match. This was one of the greatest matches of his career. And I'm just like, What? Really? It was all right. There was nothing really special about it. And again, this goes back to what you and I were saying last week. I had said that I felt that Tyson's going to come out and cost Jericho the win. There's no Tyson. So again, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But what's up with Tyson? They just forgot that Tyson was around. Did nothing pan out with him? Is he just going away? Are they doing nothing with it? Are they going to
ratings grab?
Was it
casual eyes?
Right, but they were selling that they were going to have an actual match, that they were going to actually get together in the ring. And I was really expecting him to show up here. And when he did, I'm just like, that overtook everything else for the match for me. I'm just like, all right, so what are they doing with Tyson then? The match itself was okay. There was nothing really special about it. I don't know why Jericho felt it was one of his best performances of his career. It was okay, but
I wouldn't say it was the greatest match ever. But I thought it was a pretty good match myself.
It was decent.
Yeah. I wish they would do more DQs, man. I mean, how many times you gonna cheat in a match? He cheats 3 times. She lets him go, and obviously she kicks him off the ropes. But make him break the hold after one cheating. You caught him cheating once. Nope, you caught him cheating twice in the same move. Nope, you caught him cheating 3 times in the same move. Yet he was there all 3 times. Finally, she kicks his hand, and then you got Santana and Ortiz outside. They hit Orange Cassidy with the orange juice. Where's the fucking DQ, man? Where's the DQ? I get you don't want your main event to be a DQ, but I'd almost rather that be,
or at least
it brings something different.
Or at least send them back.
Right.
So.
Come to think of it, has there ever been a DQ yet in AEW? Maybe there are no DQs. Maybe Tony Khan forgot to tell us in the rule book. Oh, well you know what? When Aubrey's rule book comes out, we'll see. One. Maybe there's no DQs.
Yeah. I feel like there was one DQ.
Okay. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember having seen a DQ before. And it would be funny if that AEW rulebook comes out that Aubrey was promoting, and it would be funny if it's like rule number 1, there's no disqualifications.
Yeah. Fucking A. I don't doubt it at this point, but yeah, I mean, what do you got, Eddie? What were your feelings on this main event here?
I enjoyed the match. I know, yesterday I was listening to Jericho, and he feels very high of it. Like he likes the program with Orange Cassidy, but I think he enjoys it because Orange Cassidy was kind of and now he's bringing out a serious side of him, like a more aggressive side, so it's not like just everything joking, the kicks to the shins and all that. He actually could showcase that he could actually put a decent match together. So, but I don't know. You know what he reminds me? He reminds me of X-Pac. Like, he's too small. Like, you see him face to face with Jericho, and there's such a big difference. And Jericho's not a really big guy.
Right. He's not.
But it's it's hard to take. I don't know. Hard to take serious at a certain point, because how hard is he gonna hit a bigger dude? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was a good match.
Well,
I enjoyed it. They put on a good match, so.
Yeah, I don't mind that he's smaller or whatever, and I don't mind. I like him as a wrestler, but I kind of was I did enjoy where he did the little kick, and then you're just expecting he's gonna do the little super kick, but then he hits him with a legit super kick. That was a nice little spot. The other thing about this, I don't understand why Jericho needed to go over. I mean, people will argue that he should have went over. It was the right thing. I argue that it's not the right thing because Jericho's fucking at the end of his career. Jericho's made the name. He's been the champ. Yeah, you can make guys by winning against them, but you also make them even more by letting them beat you at this point. Don't become fucking. I mean, it's almost like I don't want to be Hulk Hogan, but I'm kind of like Hulk Hogan, you know, like where you literally won't job to anybody.
Yeah, but I think that's now the thing of putting people over is just giving them a match. Like, they don't want to lose the match, but they look, I'll let you wrestle me, and that's fine, but I'm not going to let you win, okay? It's like, so it doesn't make sense. Like, that would have been a good match to be disqualified, or to like, for something like that, to not have a winner, so the guy could have at least looked a little stronger.
Yeah. I think, and I'm a big Orange Cassidy fan, but I do feel it would have been too soon for him to have a clean win, which is why I felt that the Tyson thing would have been perfect. If he caused something to happen, which would have allowed Cassidy to win, but Jericho doesn't get pinned. Like, there is something to it where he's not just jobbing out to this guy.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's ever too early to get a clean win over somebody that can boost you. I mean, listen, Cassidy's over, but to win against Jericho's, it's the same thing with Sammy and Darby. It's like it's just a lose. Eventually, you're just gonna turn these guys into fucking nobodies. Yeah, fine. You keep them strong. You make them look good. Okay, you keep them strong for a match or two that they lose. But if they keep losing and you keep making them look strong in 10 losses in a row, you're not doing them any service. You're doing them a disservice.
Well, maybe that's why.
Eventually, they got to win one of these fucking matches. You can't just go, oh, but we made them look strong in losing. What? You're still losing, man. You're still eroding what his luster. You know what I'm saying? His shine is being eroded every time he loses, and you're not allowing him the opportunity to win.
That could be why he had his squash match on Tuesday.
Yeah, but that's nothing.
I know.
Dude. Like,
I'm just saying.
Cody's not. If you beat Cody, Cody's not losing anything in a loss. You get what I'm saying? Cody's what? Not 11-0 this year, or so it's like, I get now he has a TNT title, but I'm talking about months ago. But I get why he can't lose currently. But I'm just saying in general, because he wrestled Darby, he wrestled Sammy. It's like you give these guys these wins early on. Okay, then you get your get-backs, and, I don't know, maybe it's all going to culminate in the slow chase. Like, oh, Darby's lost twice to Cody, so now he's going to eventually get it back and win the title from him. Like, we talked about that long-term booking type of deal. So maybe we're just not seeing the forest through the trees, but... So, sorry, Michelle, we are ignoring you. I didn't mean to ignore you, but I can barely speak today for some reason. I'm bumbling over everything. So,
no,
but thank you for the support, Michelle.
Yes, we appreciate you being in the chat for sure.
100%. I was smiling while looking at it, though. I just couldn't. God, right now I'm bumbling over my fucking words. I need a V8 or something today. I mean, that's it for me, man. You guys got anything else on the show as a whole? Oh, we could let's talk match of the night for each of us. Go ahead, Alan. What do you got?
Puppy Battle Royal.
Oh, come on. That wasn't part of the show. That was after the show. Match of the night, Alan. Let's hear it.
Match for the night was...
Feet to the fire.
What's that?
Feet to the fire, baby.
Man, that's hard. I mean, believe it or not, maybe the 8-man tag. I think the 8-man tag might have been the match of the night for me because, first of all, it surprised me in how clean it was, considering there were so many guys involved. I thought that it really showcased nicely FTR. It showcased everybody in terms of nobody got in each other's way. I think from an impressive standpoint, I'll go with that. I'll say that was for me match of the night.
Okay. Eddie?
I think that it was between that one and the heavyweight tag team championship. And since Private Party surprised me on the way they, I don't know if they grew or just they gelled well with Omega and Paige. Yeah.
Yep.
I think them slowing down, they're very athletic, so they could put on a lot of good moves. So I think that, to me, that was, in my opinion, that was probably the match of the night.
Okay. Okay. Nice. I'm going with the 8-man as well. I really thought, like Alan said, it just they gelled. They flowed well together. I love the double tag. The tag team, the double tag team moves where they would help each other with that particular tag team's move sets. And they're not really tag. It's again, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. But like you had Nick Jackson would help out Dax and stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting and it worked well. It flowed well and it got a little busy at times, but not in a bad way. And I 100% agree. I'm going with the 8-man. So I like your pick, Eddie. I mean, I felt like like you said, they slowed it down this week, and maybe it was the opponents. I wouldn't say they've grown because they still do a lot of that stuff. A lot of the times I see them, but they do have matches. They do have times where they get it together and they do well. That's why they're very talented, and I think they're gonna eventually be a good tag team. In terms of working and stuff and looking clean, but they still have times where they're very green looking.
Alan, stop twirling your hair.
Yeah, that's so great. Oh my god,
it really is such a bad fucking habit, man.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? I don't like. And you know what? It's funny because I don't like their gimmick per se because you have almost the same thing in the other in the competition, very similar to it, and it's like, but like hopefully they fall into their place and they find a groove and all that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But with so many tag teams, it's like,
I think their gear is shit. They need new gear.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Cassidy would do that screaming, that high-pitched girl scream, and now I noticed in that match last week that Marquand was doing the high-pitched scream, and I'm like, wait, now he's doing it too? I'm like, come on, man. I don't think I've heard Cassidy do it in a while. Now Marquand is doing it, and it's like, come on.
I think they need to go in the back and decide who's the one who's supposed to do this. It's like,
they should decide that I stopped doing it, so we should stop doing it altogether because it's stupid. It's but yeah, I like Marquand better as a wrestler personally. I think he's got a higher upside. I think I've said it in the past. I think he could eventually be a single star as well.
For sure.
So not to put Cassidy out to pasture, but he's young. They're both young as shit, but I just see Marquand's a little more advanced in my opinion than of the two. So maybe Cassidy. I think Marquand has more of a look, like that I would like be more interested in being like as a singles wrestler following the guy. You know what I mean? Cassidy's kind of just he's just a guy.
Yeah. Regular looking guy.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like someone who just pulled off the street, and I guess that's his appeal.
Yeah, and there's regular looking guys that I'm like, yeah, I could get behind, but it's just a mental thing. Like, it's like anything. There's guys you like and there's guys you dislike in wrestling, and
And sometimes there's no explanation.
Right. Sometimes it's literally just a visual.
Yes.
That's why I said when Orange Cassidy fought that guy Will Hobbs on Dark, I said this guy looks like somebody I could get behind. I really want to see how he wrestles. He gets Superman punched and pinned in 1 second. So
Exactly. Right.
I was like, all right, I can't see if his wrestling matches my eyesight on what I would like to see from the guy.
Right.
But but that's it for me, guys. I don't know if anything else. If not, I mean, we could do our sign-offs here.
Yeah. I think overall, like I said, I overall enjoyed the 2-night event. I do think it was nothing, tremendously special. It did feel like 2 nights of Dynamite as opposed to a 2-part pay-per-view.
Rate it. We didn't rate it. We rated last week. What do you think? We did 7 the prior week. Week 1.
And I thought this week was going to be better, actually. Yeah. You know what? I'll go with 7 as well. I'll say that, though, without the puppy battle royal, it would have been a 6.
I'm gonna go 6, man. I gotta go lower than the week prior.
All right.
I really do. How about you, Eddie? What would you rate the show?
I will go for 7 also. I don't think
7,
we're all
okay.
expecting better this week, and really didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And to be fair, night 2 was supposed to be highlighted by Moxley Cage, and that was out of their control. That's not their fault.
That is true.
So the fact that they lost their marquee match for the second night, you can't blame them for that. So
and they had to probably fill in with other things at last minute. So
well, that's what that tag team match was. That tag team championship match was about that. Yeah.
The Archer Janella probably also. I don't think they were scheduled.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That's it too.
And the Nyla match, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that was shoehorned in.
Yeah.
There.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we won't review next week. It's only a one-night show. It's just like a special Dynamite kind of. So we'll just skip that, and we'll just come back and talk about it next week. But, yeah, thank you, everybody, for listening. Sorry, I was bumbling over fucking everything I was saying today. Check us on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. We're live Sundays at 4:05, about 4:05 Eastern. So if you want to catch us live on YouTube, we're there. Hit the bell so you get notified when we go live. Hit us on Twitter at AEW Uncensored. Catch us on email, AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Any questions, comments? Facebook, AEW Uncensored Podcast. We have a group and a page for that. Catch us on Skype. You can find links to our Skype on uncensoredalliance.com, which is our website. From there, you get on the show like Eddie here as a guest. Check us on all the apps for the podcast. iTunes, Google Podcasts, any app you use for podcasts, we're on there. So check us on that, and links in the description on YouTube. Links all over our descriptions on the podcast descriptions for our feed. So. Check us on anything you can find us on. Like, share, rate, subscribe, everything else. Thank you again. Really appreciate your support. Michelle, thank you for hopping on in Eddie's place in the chat since Eddie was on the show.
Thanks to the entire family, too, for their participation.
I don't know if we mentioned. I don't know if we mentioned, but Michelle is Eddie's wife. I think I failed to mention that earlier, but I apologize for stumbling over all my words today. Thank you again, and we are out.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Peace.